I've been blessed to have 4 years of this cancer part of my journey. Actually, it was longer than that. When I was 34, I had a colon cancer as well, but they removed it all, and that was about a year process. And then when I was 39, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. And that was 4 years ago. So I can see how the Lord has prepared me for the days that have been that are coming ahead. And He's always shown Himself faithful and good. I have as time has progressed through my world, that's all I see of Him is His goodness and His faithfulness. I recognize the mortality of this world, and even though my life will be shortened compared to some people's, it's still been a really good life. These last 4 years of my journey here with cancer has been the best 4 years of my life. I wish I had more time, but I'm also certain that when I'm with the Lord, I will be in a place where I'll never ever want to leave again. I'll never want to leave the Lord's side. And if the Lord would have just came along and snapped His fingers and said, "You're healed," that would have, I think, a significant less impact on what the journey He's brought me through. And that I'm eternally thankful for, as He's walked with me day by day, showing Himself how much He cares about little details and big details, and understanding His purposes. And not that I fully understand them, but trying to understand from an eternal perspective. When I'm with Him, the Lord, I suspect that I'll see nothing was ever wrong in the first place, even though from this end of the eternity it feels like something, why does this have to happen? Or, you could have all those types of questions of, why me, or why cancer, or, whatever question you'd have. But suffering's not all bad. I think we try to avoid suffering as much as we can as human beings, but when you avoid suffering, you also can avoid the Lord's goodness and His comfort within that realm. Suffering produces good fruit for those who allow the Lord to work in them. And it's not something that we should avoid. It's a good thing, even though it's temporary here on this earth. And that's what you have to remember. Any suffering I have now is minuscule compared to the eternity that awaits me. And I'm happy to suffer for a short time, or as long as the Lord's wanting me to. But I think our human nature tends to shy away from that. But there's a blessing in suffering that can be missed. I felt maybe not understanding the situation, or times of grief. That's more what I would have dealt with, I would say. Mm-hmm. Loss. There's been a lot of loss. And times where I felt unfair, for sure. But I recognize them all as it's no different for the Lord Jesus Christ. He came onto this earth even more unfairly, was crucified and beaten, died. He didn't deserve any of it. He chose to do that. When I realized that, that's what the Lord's done for me, which I always knew that, but I recognize it on that level, that answered all those kind of questions, because those are things that He chose, and He didn't deserve any of them. I just have this little box that Todd's lived in, and I have not lived a perfect life. My hope for everyone is that they can find the joy of the Lord that I have found. I hope each and every person that I meet finds that. The reality is, some will walk towards the Lord and some won't. And I just I hope and pray that through my own journey that they can see the Lord's goodness and how much He loves me and cares for me and my family and my friends. And if they look at me and think of the Lord, that they would turn to Him, and that not because of me, anything I've done, but just because they can see that despite the circumstances that were before us, especially with cancer and things, that He's faithful and He's good and He loves us. I know without a shadow of a doubt that He loves loves me, my family. There's no question in my mind. And so, stepping towards the Lord is the best decision anyone will ever make. But it's also a difficult decision, and to give your life over to Jesus. But you'll never make a decision that you'll regret. It's not possible. Not in my mind it is. He's good and He's faithful and He loves us, and He has only good plans for us, hopes and a future. His plans for us are eternal. They're not in this world. And so you don't see the full fruit of that love until you're with Him. And I know I see the fruit of a love here in this earth, but I obviously can't comprehend what's next yet, because I'm not there yet. But His plan is to bring us home, and this world is not our home. This world is just a stepping stone. Home is with Him. I know people have been affected eternally through this, and that's all I really would like. And I hope that people just keep running to the Lord, because there's no one better in this earth or the next who will take care of them.